Hello and welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I'm coming to you with a little bit of a different style of video because in all honesty, I am not going to be holding anything back in this video today. I'm bringing you my 5 top nutrition hacks that are not only going to help you drop body fat and build the strong athletic figure of your dreams, but they're also going to help to skyrocket your energy so that you can feel your best and perform at your best day in, day out, no matter what life throws your way. So with that being said, let's jump into the video. First of all, a little bit about me. If you are new to my channel, first of all, welcome. My name is Georgia. I'm a women's online health and fitness coach, and I have 5 years experience now working with hundreds of incredible powerhouse women to help them drop 10 kilos of body fat, tone up, build a strong athletic physique, and most importantly, do all of this whilst flexing around their busy lifestyles. The women that I work with are high-performing women. They're very passionate, very career-driven, but they equally realise that it's not just about that one factor of their life. They want to perform at their best, but they also want to be able to look their best and feel ultra confident whilst doing it as well. So my specialist program very much molds around their lifestyles, the things that come up from day to day, and making sure that we balance it around a busy and a thriving career. And if you're not new here, thank you so much for coming back for another video. As I said, I am very, very excited to be bringing you a slightly different style of video today so I can give you all the knowledge, all the facts, so that we can absolutely nail your nutrition. So in this video, like I said, I'm going to be going through 5 simple, easy to implement nutrition hacks. These are literally things that you can take away from this video. So if you haven't already, make sure you go and grab a notebook and pen so you can write them down, because you can literally go and implement them this week. They're going to help you save time. They're going to help you to skyrocket your energy, which is going to help improve your career performance and equally see standout results when it comes to your health and fitness. Because in my world, as I said, it's not just about one thing. I strongly believe that we can learn to have it all. We can have the thriving career, we can have the incredible physique, we can have the energy, we can have the focus, we can have the drive, and it's about learning how to balance that. And nutrition is a massive, massive part of it. So without further ado, let's get straight into it with the first thing that you do not want to be skipping, which is your protein, okay? So with this, we want to be making sure you're having at least 20 grams of protein with each of your main meals. That's going to look like something like eggs, cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, protein powder for your breakfast. Then for your lunch and for your dinner, typically you want to be having some sort of lean protein. That could be anything from chicken through to fish, lean beef, anything that is going to work. Obviously, if you don't eat meat, we can have plant-based alternatives like tofu, like corn, tempeh. Those are all fantastic alternatives, but your protein is very much what you want to base your meals around. And I'm going to talk a little bit around building meals later on in this video as well. So why do we want protein in our diet? People talk about it all the time on social media. I think it's something that is thrown around a lot, but quite often people don't understand actually why we want to be having not only more protein, but more quality protein within our diet. So the number one thing it's going to do, it actually is digested in a slightly different way to the other macronutrients. So it means it's actually going to keep you fuller for longer, which is going to help sustain your energy levels throughout the day. Having balanced meals and having high protein meals means we don't get these up and down spikes and these kind of like crashes either like mid-morning or mid-afternoon. It's also going to help to reduce your cravings, which is actually going to help you be more focused throughout your working day. How often have you been sat at your desk and all you can think about is your food, your next meal, or how much you want to go and destroy the biscuit jar that's sitting across the office from you? By reducing those cravings, by having balanced meals that are protein based, this is going to help you be so much more focused and therefore so much more productive as well. Also from a physique and performance standpoint, it's going to help your recovery. It's going to mean that you can perform better within your gym sessions, which means that you are going to see far better results when it comes to your weight loss. Plus, we're going to be working on maintaining muscle mass whilst dropping body fat, which is what is going to get you that strong toned physique underneath. So that is tip number 1. We move now on to tip number 2, which is all about your fiber. And this is something I definitely don't see spoken about enough online. Everyone talks about protein, but nobody talks about fiber. And if they do, they don't talk about it enough because it is very, very important within your diet. So a target for you to aim for is 2 servings of fruit or veg with each meal, or around 100 to 120 grams. Now, obviously there are other foods that are high in fiber, for example, whole grain carbohydrates, seeds, pulses, beans, that kind of thing as well. But a really easy way to boost your fiber is to boost your fruit and veg, because that's also going to boost your micronutrients, which are high in vitamins and minerals, which is also going to benefit your immune function and so many other things. So fiber really is super, super valuable. If anything, I probably should have put this at number 1 before protein. So why do we want more fiber in our meals? Number one, this is going to add more volume to your meals. When you're in a calorie deficit, it's really easy to end up with these tiny, like rabbit-sized portions. You look at your meal and you think, this is not going to fill me up. This is looking very unsatisfying. Visually, this is going to create a way more appealing meal size. So your brain goes, oh, I'm going to feel so much more satisfied by this before you've even eaten it, which is a win in my eyes. It's also, like your protein, going to help to stabilize your hunger throughout the day, because it's going to help you to build those balanced meals and stop those kind of like spikes and drops in blood sugar, which is also going to mean that you are fuller for longer, you've got less cravings. So it very much works in a similar way to protein in that sense, as if in giving you similar benefits. But equally, on top of all of that, it's also going to help reduce bloating, because it's going to help promote healthy digestion, and it's going to support healthy hormone function, which for us as females is so important, because again, how we feel throughout our cycle is so different. And if we look at this from a busy, stressful, high-pressured career point of view, you want to be able to perform at your best as much as you can throughout your entire cycle. So by having that healthy hormone function, it's going to help with this as well. Now, moving on to tip number 3, a slightly different one: planning and prepping. So many of us leave our nutrition to chance, especially when your life is literally bursting at the seams with work events, deadlines, heaven forbid, a social life and your own downtime, running a household, all of those other things. So I just want you to set out one day in the week where you plan and you prep your meals. Now, when I say one day, disclaimer, I don't mean a whole day. This does not have to take a whole day at all. Literally, planning my meals takes me 5 minutes for the entire week. I then actually track my meals on top of that. You don't necessarily have to do that. But again, that'll take me another 5 minutes. I then will do my food shop online. That takes me maybe 15 minutes. And then my food shop arrives on the same day. I do my meal prep, which takes me no longer than an hour. So we're looking at maybe 2 hours tops that I spend planning and prepping my meals every single day. I want you to try and prep as much as you can in advance. So that might be individual ingredients. So for example, chopping up your fruits and veggies to save you time during the week. It might be prepping and cooking your protein sources or your carb sources. Quite a lot of my clients do what I call a fitness pick a mix. So they have their ingredients prepped and they can put things together in different ways without having to think and without having to do the cooking from day to day. You might also want to prep whole meals. This is what I personally do. I personally will prep all my lunches for the week. So it means that when I'm in the middle of my working week, I've got lots going on. I'm back to back in calls. I'm trying to also fit in my steps and my training at some point as well. I do not have to worry about cooking or preparing some sort of lunch in the middle of the day. That is completely taken care of me. Then lastly, another thing that works with a lot of my clients who are super busy is prepping a snack box. They know that whatever is in that snack box fits within their calorie allowance for the day, and it means that they've got something to reach for if they want a snack in between meals. So why are we doing this? You're probably thinking, Georgia, this feels like a lot of extra work. But like I said, when I broke it down, this is no more than 2 hours out of your entire week, which in the grand scheme of things is nothing. So if we make that time, either at the end of the week, maybe a Friday evening, at some point over your weekend, this is going to save you so much time throughout your working week, which, let's be honest, if you're watching this video, that time is so valuable. And I know how important that is because all of my clients are exactly the same. It's also going to help reduce decision fatigue. And this is something I see so much with clients. Quite often when your brain is going at 100 miles an hour and you've got so many other things to think about, when it comes to making a decision, your brain is like, oh, I don't know. There's too many options, and then we default Deliveroo or we default Tesco meal deal, and we end up picking something that's not aligning with your goals, and that is why your progress is not where you want it to be right now. Equally as well, by reducing that decision fatigue, reducing that time spent on this during the week, you're buying yourself back time, energy, and intention to put into your career, to put into family, friends, and the things that you want to be putting into with regards to your life. So this really is such an invaluable step. The next step, again, is something that is not spoken about enough, and that is hydrate before you caffeinate. So I want you to be making sure that you have at least 1 glass of water first thing in the morning. Wake up, brush your teeth, get ready, have a glass of water before you have any caffeine. Now, again, I know if you're watching this, you are back to back with work. You work long days, long hours, events in the evenings. It is relentless. And so it's very easy to fall into that pattern and fall into that trap of relying on that caffeine to pick you up throughout the day. So first of all, by doing this, by breaking that cycle first thing in the morning, It helps to stop that reliance on that caffeine to kickstart your day. Because if you think about it, you have that coffee in the morning, on your commute, on the way to work, or after you've done the school run, when you go back home to open the laptop to work from home, you're already in that slump. You've had that first coffee, the energy's starting to dip, then you want another one. So you have another coffee. And before you know it, once again, we're riding this wave where your energy is up and down. And it's super, super unpredictable for you, which means your output is also not going to be as predictable. It's also going to mean that because of your caffeine consumption throughout the day and because of your reliance on that, it's going to affect your sleep. And without even realizing, it's having this knock-on effect into your sleep that night and then into the following day, which is then why you're stuck in this cycle of constantly reaching for that cup of coffee before you even think about hydrating your body, which is super, super important. That's going to help create so much more mental clarity. It's going to help with your energy levels without you even realizing. So this is a really, really important one. It's also, as I said, going to prevent that mid-morning slump. It's going to prevent those crashes, and it's going to help kickstart that digestion firstly in the morning and promote that healthy digestion throughout the day. So really complementing what we're also doing with the fiber. Now, this brings me on to step number 5. We're going back into the meals, and this is a real game changer, okay? I call this the lazy meal equation. So this is how I want you to build your meals to help reduce that thinking, the planning, the decision fatigue. So again, you can put more energy into the rest of your day. So we've got protein plus carbs plus veg. And I want you to use a plate splitting rule to help you with this. So we've got a quarter of your plate for your protein. This is basically what I want you to base your meal upon. So when you're thinking about what you want to eat, is it that it's based on chicken? Is it going to be prawns? Is it eggs? Is it cottage cheese? Is it protein? Protein powder, sorry. What is it that you're basing that meal around? Once you've got this, we're moving on to the second aspect. This is the bulk of your meal. Half a plate is for that veg. Now you obviously know from earlier in this video how important that veg and that fiber content is. That's going to help you increase that volume, create a visually satisfying plate, and alongside that protein, sustain that energy throughout your day and into your next meal. Then the last part, this is where we bring in your carbs. These are also going to help. Carbs are your main energy source, right? These are going to help sustain your energy in between your meals. So like I said, it reduces the thinking. You use a simple equation, protein, carbs, veg. It really kind of like brings things back down to basics and means that we don't have to do as much planning. Like I said, this is also going to help increase your energy because we're hitting those key markers with your protein and with your fiber. And also as well, you've got such a satisfying meal. So when you are in a calorie deficit, it's really important that you are getting the most bang for your buck with your calories, especially if you are someone who is wanting to perform at your best within your career from day to day. Because what we don't want to be doing is having these peaks and troughs, having to rely on, the snacks, which then again gives us more peaks and troughs, the caffeine, all of those things. These 5 tips are really, really, really going to help to change the game when it comes to not only getting standout results with your physique, but also as well making sure that you are actually energized and feeling your best throughout the day. So hopefully these 5 tips have given you things that you can literally go away and implement today. If you haven't written these down, make sure you rewind back through this video, make a note of all of these because these are going to absolutely change the game for you. And these are things that I help my one-to-one clients implement within their lives with complete ease. So if you do want more information on my one-to-one coaching program, just comment the word coach down below this video and I'll pop you a message.